Good day, brethren. The good captain here from CapnsKustomWorks, back with another episode of my beer reviews. Now, I have what I think is going to be quite a good brew for us to sample today, and also I have hopefully a camera operating in the proper mode in 1080p and without the obnoxious auto zoom function. So let's hope that we finally found the weird secret back way workaround to make that stop going off non-stop. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. But back to the beer, which is the most important part of this. I have, ostensibly from Stone, but also from Ecliptic and Wicked Weed breweries, one of the Stone collaboration series. And this looks quite interesting. This is their Points Unknown IPA. Now the thing about this is based firmly in an IPA, but it's also blended with a barrel-aged Belgian-style triple. Now, if you've been paying any attention, you may know by now that Belgians are just plain not my favorite, with, you know, the notable exception of Hercule Poirot. But Belgian ales, just not really my favorite. Now, have I had Belgians that have been quite good? Yes. Have I had Belgians that have been outstanding and I would drink again in a heartbeat? Absolutely. There's been a few, but by and large, Belgians are not my favorite style. But that being said, I'd love to keep experimenting more and see what I can find here. And being that this is from Stone, I'm hoping that they're going to amaze me. I'm not really familiar with either the Ecliptic or Wicked Weed breweries, but another thing you guys know if you've been paying attention, I absolutely love bottles that come just jam-packed with information. And this one does, as Stone often does, almost all the time. Their bottles come just loaded with info. And it's really neat. It tells a story about how they got together with these, you know, two breweries and came up with this beer and so on and so forth. And I highly recommend you to go out and try it and read the bottle for yourself, because it's a nice long story and it's quite interesting. Let's crack this open and give it a taste here, shall we? Now, this is a, I believe, 9.5 ABV. That is correct. 9.5% alcohol by volume, which is, you know, it's on the stern side for sure. Not the sternest I've ever had, but it's up there amongst, you know, the high end of what you'd typically find, especially if you were just going out to have a beer. If you're going to a high-end brew pub or something like that, 9.5 is right up there. You can certainly find sterner ones in your good local beer suppliers, like Woodman's, where I love getting my beer, and I got this one as well. It looks nice. You know, that's the kind of quality I've come to expect from Stone. It looks real good. Nice, solid head without being overly foamy. I'd say just based on appearance, if you poured just about anybody this and handed it to them, they'd probably say, that's a good-looking beer. Unless you ordered a stout, in which case you'd say there's something wrong here. But hopefully that's not the case. Oh, and it smells nice, too. Definitely picking up a little bit of those kind of seasoned notes that you'd want out of a Belgian, and I think the barrel aging definitely brings that out. And it smells like it combines nicely with the hoppiness of the IPA. It's got a very floral note to it too. I think we're going to like this. Once again, Stone impresses. It's good. It's quite good. And it's quite warm outside here today. And this is a good beer to beat that heat with, I can say, just after the first sip. That's nice. It's crisp, but it still has a lot of body to it. Tastes good. Tastes good so far. That is very nice. Couple sips in and it's refreshing. The flavor notes that come through from the Belgian quarter of this are not overpowering, but they are a nice complement. I think this works quite well. It does. Let's drink some more of it. See what happens here. Your favorite part and mine, accelerated motion time. Wow. Wow. Okay, brethren, let's bring this back to regular speed here and discuss this a little bit. Wow. Wow. That's about the best I can sum up my experience right now. Some of you may have noticed I took a big swig of coffee there at the end. Just try to cleanse the palate a little bit. Funny that coffee should cleanse my palate, right? Well, that's what I use. Man, that's bold. That's a lot bolder than it seems at first glance, which isn't bad. It's not a bad thing. But it is incredibly bold. Wow, it's still, I took a big swig of coffee and it's not like there's a bad aftertaste, it's just that my mouth is imbued with those bold flavors. It's kind of like the way, to reference another of Stone's brews, the way they kind of humorously play up the fact that their Ruination is so overly hoppy that it just sticks in your mouth. That's why they call it Ruination. You can't drink another beer afterward because you won't be able to taste it right. This is such a bold flavor. Like I said, that's not bad at all. If that's what you're looking for, then this is one for you. If you like your pub draft and are scared of anything fancy, you're probably going to want to stay away from this. This is a bold dang beer. Wow. Overall, it was quite good. Quite good. I kept noticing a nice little lacing on the glass there. Like I said at the beginning, good head on that brew, for sure. Nice color. Nice texture to it. The flavor is just bold as heck, though. Wow. If I tried this at some sort of a brewer's meet or something, if somebody said, take a swig of this, and they said, you know, this is from some archaic recipe, I'd believe them. That's what it tastes like. In actuality, it's a combination of two not quite archaic recipes, but, you know, one that's probably considered archaic, the Belgian Tripel, you know, long established in the annals of brewing styles. Belgians have a good long brewing tradition. IPA, not quite as old, but still it's not a modern form at all, although it's enjoying a modern resurgence. But the two of them come together, and the triple is barrel aged as well, which lends another note to the complexity. It is a really, really complex beer. As I went through it, that complexity just kept reinforcing itself. There were other notes that were coming out, and I was just saying, wow, this beer is full of such flavor. much beer. I didn't really know what to do with it. Wow, was that bold. Now, slugging it down like that, it's not the way to drink this beer. This is a beer you want to sit back for a long while and savor because it is rich, it is bold, and it is complex. And again, not that I want to kiss up to Stone all the time, although you've probably noticed in the past I do have quite a reverence for their abilities. They make a darn good beer. They've seldom disappointed me. Quite often, they've blown me away with the quality of their beer. They just plain know what they're doing. And this is no different. And the fact that they've collaborated with Ecliptic and with Wicked Weed breweries on this. Should mention, I think Ecliptic was out of Oregon, I think they said. Yes, and Wicked Weed's from North Carolina. Hence the name of this Points Unknown. They're spread all around the country, the three breweries. That speaks something to what they're doing. I'm gonna definitely be interested in looking up more about those other two breweries there, Ecliptic and Wicked Weed. And I will definitely, if I can find some good stuff, I will post some links to them in the description, of course, because now my curiosity is piqued, man, for sure. Wow. Yet again, wow. This was quite interesting. This is not, however, a beer that I would drink all the time, were it available to me all the time, which is not how I drink beer, because I like sampling things all over the place. But this is not your everyday beer, for sure. This is a once-in-a-while beer. This was, so bold and complex that it was good. Good to try, absolutely. I feel enriched for trying it. I certainly do. It is good. I would drink it again. I would not load up on it and drink it all of the time because that just wouldn't suit my taste for doing so. If your palate is in need of such stimulation that you need the boldest, most out there beers to drink all the time, well then, by all means go for it. But me, I like to sample around the range a little more, and this was a bold darn beer. Wow. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, again, good on you, Stone. Good on you, Ecliptic. Good on you, Wicked Weed. Three breweries that I'm sure a lot of you are already paying attention to Stone, but these other guys, I think they're going to be doing more that you're going to want to pay attention to, for sure. Because I'm impressed. What can I say? I'm impressed. It's an amazing beer, and even though I certainly wouldn't drink it every day, or probably even every week, because that's a lot, but I definitely feel enriched for having sampled it, and I'm glad to find something that, although it wasn't a pure Belgian, but it had a blend of a Belgian Tripel, and I'm glad to find something else with some Belgian influence that I can say, okay, that was good, add that to the roster. There's some Belgian influence that I enjoyed. And that's what this is all about, of course. Sampling things, finding what you might like, what you're not feeling quite as much, and sorting through all that stuff, and using it to just build up, that knowledge of beer, that seeking for beer enlightenment, if you will. Somebody trademarked that yet? If not, I might be on it. This was good. This was good. Overall, the rating of the non-existent rating system, this was good. I recommend trying it if you think you can handle it. If you're not all about bold beers, you're not going to like it, because this is a bold, rich, complex beer. No two ways about that. And on top of that, this is a 9.5% beer. Pretty stern for a lot of folks. So that brings up something we try and reinforce a lot here. You got to be drinking responsibly, and if you can't drink responsibly, you shouldn't be drinking. And this brings it right to bear. You know, I slugged down a 22 of this, and yeah, I could feel a little bit. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm drunk, but I can tell that I just drank a pretty stern beer, for sure. Wow, yet again, wow. The end of this is getting so boring because I'm just at a loss, and I apologize for that. But that being said, we ought to end this darn thing. Let you fine people get on with your lives. Let me getting on with whatever it is I was going to try to do with the rest of my day. And I don't remember anymore because a beer just hit me in the face. Wow. Thank you very much for being with me again. I appreciate the heck out of it. Feel free, like the video, comment on it, because I'm just trying to share my opinions. I know they might not jive with yours, and I want to hear your opinions regardless of how you feel about it. If you've tried this beer, by all means, please tell us what you thought. If you got suggestions for beers we should be looking for in the future, we want to hear those too. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated of all the crazy nonsense that I'm doing. I don't know if you do. Really, it's pretty crazy. But if you do, then feel free. And I assure you guys, I'm gonna finish this thing momentarily, but it's, dang, it's like it smacked me square in the mouth. Wow. We'll get there, though. We'll get there. We'll see all you fine folks again in the real near future. Whether you like it or not. Much love. Oh my God, that beer. Wow.